Hello, I'm Neil Thomas. I'm a partner here at RSM and I lead our recruitment sector team. Today I'm joined by Matt Humphrey, who leads our risk management advisory team. Morning, Matt.
Hello, Neil.
I'm just going to ask you a few questions around risk management. So in terms of sort of the corporate landscape, including the recruitment sector, what do you see as the key risks at the moment?
Yeah, Neil, interesting this one at the moment. We're talking with lots of organisations in all different sectors and particularly corporate businesses about a whole range of risks that are prevalent across all different sectors at the moment. But if I might refer to something that we maintain in RSM and particularly maintained by my team, we have a strategic risk barometer, which sounds quite grandiose, but actually organisations really quite like it to be able to compare themselves with where they're at from a risk profile perspective and what others are seeing across all different businesses. So this is as relevant to the recruitment sector as it would be any other business in any other sector. So the strategic risk barometer is actually compiled through the work that we do with boards and leadership teams of businesses at all different sizes. And we look for what are the most prevalent risks across businesses. So not necessarily always the highest risk, but they're the risk that appears the most regular and is talked about the most regular when it comes to risk profiles and strategic risk registers. Number one, everyone is always surprised at, okay? And it's safety, all right? And it's safety and well-being. And I talk to boards and they say to me, safety and well-being, the top, wow, that's amazing. But when you think about it, they get to understand why. So organisations employ a lot of people or have got a lot of customers, at the end of the day, they want to make sure they're safe. They want to make sure that their well-being is provided for. And, on the back of the pandemic, that's becoming quite important. We don't want people falling over necessarily. And of course, CEOs, it's the one thing that potentially they can end up some real serious problems with if it goes wrong, because in corporate manslaughter, so on and so forth. And, they need to make sure that the arrangements they've got in place, even though the residual risk might be low, but the arrangements and controls are really well managed. Now, number two, as a strategic risk, again, most prevalent that we're seeing, is actually resilience and quality. Now, organisations start to talk to me about this and say, yeah, I get to understand why that's important. Post-COVID, we're quite interested now in our resilience of our services we offer, the resilience of our people, links back probably to the well-being of them as well. What it means by resilience also is the fact that they don't want services to fall over. And, services can fall over due to various reasons. But if services do fall over, then quality is impacted. Okay. One of the underlying risks that exists there that I have conversations around is obviously cyber security. Organisations don't want to be hit by a cyber attack. Again, it's one of those risks whereby it's probably already controlled, but they want to make sure the control arrangements remain effective. If they have a cyber attack, there's a whole range of consequences, as we know of that, data being stolen and released into the public domain. And yeah, that's a major concern. But the biggest concern boards have is the fact that it will disrupt their provision of service. Disruption in provision of service means they're less resilient, they're not providing quality. And they're worried then that customers will go elsewhere because customers quickly change suppliers and quickly change their mind about who they want to work with. And if you've had that cyber attack and you've been subject to one of those breaches in some form or another, people lose confidence in your ability to actually manage their affairs. And so that's a really important area for them to think about, ensuring resilience, ensuring they're getting the quality right, because it can easily fall down. Now, the third area actually plays through really well into the industry that we're talking about now, which is the recruitment sector. On the board strategic risk register that we're finding that number 3 is recruitment, retention, development of staff. Okay, all the businesses I'm working with at the moment are talking about this, doesn't matter what sector. They're really keen to make sure that they are able to make sure they get the right individuals through the door, be these experienced hires, or be these new starters, new candidates, fresh from maybe college, university, school. And they're keen to make sure that they can provide training and development to keep them with the business and take them through the organisation's life. And that's really high on the board agenda and really struggling with being able to do that at the moment. And again, recruitment industries, if you think about it, that's going to be their key objective. How can we supply quality individuals to our clients? Okay, so there is a real marry-up then between a key risk that businesses are experiencing and something that is actually a key objective of the recruitment sector. So it'd be really interesting, I think, and I'm sure recruiters do it, to have those conversations with leadership teams to understand the pressures and challenges they are facing, to work out strategies for how they can help them, not just in the short term, but the longer term.
Thanks, Matt. That's great. And for more information, please visit our website.